So, if you've ever run an event, you know the struggle, right? Getting people to not just open your email, but to actually show up. Well, today we are going to dive into a super simple but really powerful hack that connects Mailchimp with a tool called Calendar Snack to close that gap and seriously boost your attendance. We have all been there. You craft the perfect email, you hit send, you're watching those open rates climb, but there's always that little voice in the back of your head, right? How many of those people are actually going to be there? It's time to fix that. All right, so the solution here is what I like to call a dynamic duo. It's two amazing tools that, when they work together, pretty much solve our attendance problem. On one side, you've got Mailchimp, which you probably already know and love for sending out your email campaigns. And on the other, you have Calendar Snack, which is basically a super smart, automated RSVP engine. Now, when you connect these two, you create this seamless, totally trackable registration process that happens right inside the email. It's brilliant. So, how do we actually connect them? It's a really simple two-part process. First, we're going to start in Calendar Snack to generate what we'll call the magic link. Okay, so everything kicks off in your Calendar Snack console. Think of this as your command center for creating and managing all your trackable calendar invites. It's clean, it's simple, and it is absolutely where the magic begins. Getting this link is crazy easy. It's just 4 quick steps. So inside your organizer dashboard, you're going to select RSVP buttons specifically for Mailchimp. Then you just search for your event. The example we're pulling from used a Seattle Mariners game. Once you find it, just hit copy. That's it. That unique link is now on your clipboard, totally ready for part 2. All right, we've got our link copied. It's time for part 2. Let's head on over to Mailchimp and see how this all plugs in. This is where you're going to give your call to action button some serious superpowers. And this, right here, this is the key moment in the entire process. We're about to turn a totally standard email button into a powerful automated event registration and tracking tool. It's pretty cool. You know, the source material we're looking at puts it perfectly with this quote. The real value here is that one single click does 2 critical things at once. Your attendee instantly gets the calendar invite on their calendar, and at the same time, you get the data confirming they did it. It's a flawless experience for them and just incredibly valuable data for you. And putting this into action is just as simple as it sounds. You just open your Mailchimp campaign, click on whatever call to action button you want to use, and paste that unique Calendar Snack link into the URL field. Hit save and exit, and that is it. Your button is now officially supercharged. So, the setup is done. But how do we know it's actually working? Let's look at the result, which all starts with one absolutely crucial step: testing. Seriously, before you blast this out to your entire list, you absolutely have to use Mailchimp's preview and test functions. This is a non-negotiable step to make sure everything is working just perfectly. The source material highlights a really great best practice here. Start small. In their example, they sent the campaign to a tiny test group of just 8 people. Why 8? Well, it's small enough that it's easy to manage, but it's big enough to properly test the whole experience from start to finish. This small-scale test lets you see exactly what your attendees are going to see without risking your full list. And here is the best part. From your perspective, the moment they click that button, you see it. Your Calendar Snack dashboard confirms the invite was sent and that it was delivered. You now have real-time confirmation for every single person who RSVPs. And just like that, you've done it. You have successfully closed that super frustrating gap between sending an email and actually landing a spot on your attendee's calendar. You've made it effortless for them and completely trackable for you. So, this brings us to the final thought here. Now that you've seen how simple this is, just think, how could this kind of automated RSVP system totally transform your next event campaign? I mean, think about the time you'd save, sure, but more importantly, think about the strategic data you'd get. Now you can send targeted reminders only to people who haven't added it to their calendar yet. It's a really small change that could give you some pretty massive results.